Hello everyone, it's Spurs Radio 96 here, and welcome to the 15th episode of the FIFA 20 Borussia Mönchengladbach career mode. We begin today's episode with the UEFA Europa League quarter-final second leg at Borussia Park against the other German opponent, VfL Wolfsburg. If you haven't checked out the last episode, I advise you do so, but we had a good episode, 2 Bundesliga victories against Hannover 96 and Werder Bremen, and of course the Foles were victorious in the first leg, as you can see there, at the Volkswagen Arena. Lazio and Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund all have advantages in their tie as well. So the Foles are ready to do battle with VfL Wolfsburg once again in this all-German European clash. Of course, VfL Wolfsburg shot themselves in the foot in the previous episode when their defender, the American international John Brooks, scored a very unlucky own goal, which has given Mönchengladbach the advantage heading into this rainy second leg here at Borussia Park, and also the gives the chance at the Foles to progress to their first European semi-final since 1987, where the last time they were in a European semi-final. They played Dundee United of Scotland and lost miserably. And as you can see there, the first team returns for European action. The last time we played VfL Wolfsburg in terms of league action was when we managed to win away at their own turf 2-1. Where Sonny Play scored 2 goals on that day. As you can see, for VfL Wolfsburg, it's exactly the same lineup and formation for the UEFA Europa League quarter-final second leg. So let's go on to the first half highlights here. On to the 17th minute, Mönchengladbach have the ball. Trossard makes a foul there, I think, on a Sonny Play, and the referee has pulled it back for a Mönchengladbach free kick. Sonny Play's got the ball, passes it to Nuos. And oh, what a strike that is! And that's a brilliant strike from Matthias Ginter. A brilliantly worked free kick. Brilliant set piece. And Mönchengladbach take the lead in the second leg and extend their lead in the tie. It's 1-0 to the Foles. And the chances of heading to the Europa League semi-final has surely increased. And it's looking like a tall order already for VfL Wolfsburg. Brilliantly worked free kick. Nice pass from Asani Play to Christoph, I think it was to Nuos. Or no, it might have been Christoph Kramer. But then what an absolute rocket that is from Matthias Ginter. Absolute screamer of a shot. Scores his first Europa League goal of the season. What a time to score, and what a goal it was. Coming up to 20 minutes, it's Mönchengladbach 1, VfL Wolfsburg 0. And there goes the half-time whistle. It's been pretty tight to choose between the two sides, just like it was at the Volkswagen Arena in the first leg. But Mönchengladbach have an advantage once again on the score sheet and on the aggregate tie. And Matthias Ginter free thunderbolt means it's Mönchengladbach 1, VfL Wolfsburg 0. The aggregate scoreline is 3-1. On to the latter stages of the second half. As we go on to the second half highlights, pretty close to choose between the two sides, but Mönchengladbach have a corner kick on the 86th minute, thanks to a Ginter deflected strike. Corner was taken, and it's a penalty to Mönchengladbach right at the end. I think it was Bailey, the one who committed the foul there. Must have been a handball or something. Here's the replay. And yeah, as you can see, his arms are going above his head as he was jumping up to head the ball away. But it is a penalty to Mönchengladbach, and they can wrap up the game and the tie. The fans wait to decide who will take the penalty and who will send Mönchengladbach into the next round. Thorgan Hazard's going to take it. Brilliant penalty from Thorgan Hazard. It's 2-0 to Borussia Mönchengladbach. It's 4-1 on aggregate, and they're heading to the semi-final. VfL Wolfsburg are going home. It's been another tough match between the Fohls and VfL Wolfsburg, but Mönchengladbach have it's another lucky goal for Mönchengladbach. They had an own goal from VfL Wolfsburg, and this time VfL Wolfsburg have made matters worse with a penalty from their defender of Bailey. And Mönchengladbach have taken advantage of another mistake from VfL Wolfsburg's defence. Thorgan Hazard scores his 4th Europa League goal of the season. It's now 2-0 and 4-1 on aggregate. Brilliant for Borussia Mönchengladbach. And the full-time whistle goes. Joy for the fans of Borussia Mönchengladbach. When the tie was made, we knew that one German team will go through, but we didn't know which one. And that team is Borussia Mönchengladbach. They're progressing to their first semi-final since 1987. It's a long time coming. But Mönchengladbach, who have had a tough test against VfL Wolfsburg away and at Borussia Park, have managed to come out victorious in both legs. The full-time score is Borussia Mönchengladbach 2, VfL Wolfsburg 0. The aggregate scoreline is finished a rather comfortable 4-1. So after the European joy of Borussia Park, we must return to Bundesliga action, where we're going to be facing the worst club in the division, the bottom team in the Bundesliga, and that is the VfB Stuttgart at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. Fantastic arena. I think it hosts 55,000 seats, 55,000 fans, so a fantastic arena for the bottom club. As you can see there on match day 30, Red Bull Leipzig are still 4th with 64 points. Mönchengladbach is 5th with 56 points. It's looking like a tall order, but any mistake that Red Bull Leipzig make, the Fohls must pounce. And as you can see there, a very embarrassing statistic for VfB Stuttgart. They are the worst scoring side in the division, and no wonder they're stranded at the bottom of the league and heading to the second division, Bundesliga 2. I believe they're still on 10 points, so a miserable season to forget for VfB Stuttgart in a fantastic arena. But for this match, the reserve team will come into play here. The last time the reserve team did play was when we managed to pick up a 2-0 home victory against Hannover 96. And coming into this game, we've been on the back of some tremendous form. Ever since the defeat at Eintracht Frankfurt, we've managed to win 3 consecutive games, and all 3 of them, those games, we haven't managed to concede a single goal. 3 straight clean sheets. So the Fohls looking like, the odds-on favourites, really. They are the favourites to claim a 4th straight victory. As you can see there by VfB Stuttgart's lineup, they're heading for a 4-3-3 formation. They're trying to just go for an attacking lineup, bring a bit of joy to the fans. And there is the lineup for Mönchengladbach. So let's go on to the first half highlights then. And we're going to go on to the 8th minute, and Mönchengladbach have the ball. Is Briel Mbolo. Lovely through ball there towards Marcus Thierry. Kicks it back, takes a strike, and it's hit the post. Mönchengladbach almost took the lead. 10 minutes, and Bayer's got the ball now. Stindl, and then Mbolo's there. Mbolo was there in the box. And a brilliant composed strike from Briel Mbolo puts Borussia Mönchengladbach ahead. And he celebrates with the away supporters. The Fohls lead at the bottom club. No surprise really, the Fohls have started on the front foot. And the Fohls have taken advantage of their superb start. 10 minutes on the clock. Briel Mbolo with a calm strike. Looks like that strike is the start of what looks to be another, maybe a routine victory for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Briel Mbolo's 10th goal of the season. Means that past 11 minutes, it is VfB Stuttgart 0, Borussia Mönchengladbach 1. 18 minutes and VfB Stuttgart have the ball here. Here's Vigoni. And he's passed in towards Omar. Mina gets in the way. And Omar's put it in. VfB Stuttgart have scored a goal and the fans celebrate. The club bottom of the league with no chance of survival. The club with the worst goal scoring record in the league have levelled the game. What a surprise, what a spanner in the works. Mina got in, managed to block Omar's strike initially, but Sapel, I thought the goalkeeper there would cover the near post, and he clearly didn't. And Omar has put, well, the VfB Stuttgart on level here. This is a shock for the Foles. Omar Karabin's third goal in the Bundesliga, and VfB Stuttgart's 19th goal of the entire season means it's 1-1. 25th minute, and the Foles have a chance in. Here's Marcus Terrier, and Ibolo's there, and the Foles retake the lead. Breel Embolo strikes again, and Stuttgart's confidence has been shot back down to earth. And Mönchengladbach resume normal proceedings here. Brilliant bit of turn of pace from Marcus Terrier, and did the cheeky pass back to Breel Embolo, who was in space and onside. The Foles have clearly a pace advantage when it comes to going forward with the ball on counter-attacks. And Breel Embolo scores once again his 11th goal in the Bundesliga. And it's VfB Stuttgart 1, Borussia Mönchengladbach 2. And there goes the first half highlights. Other than that scare from VfB Stuttgart when Omar levelled the game, the Foles have been in total control. 2 goals from Breel Embolo means the Foles are on their way to a 4th successive victory here in the Bundesliga. But it does mean that thanks to that strike from VfB Stuttgart, we will not be registering our 4th straight clean sheet. At the Mercedes-Benz Arena, it's VfB Stuttgart 1, Borussia Mönchengladbach 2. So let's then take a look then at the half-time results from the other grounds. And Borussia Dortmund and Hertha Berlin are having a stalemate. It's 0-0 at the Signal Iduna Park. Bayer Leverkusen are losing to Bayern Munich, which means Bayern Munich will be the champions. Into the 66th minute, and VfB Stuttgart growing in confidence, and here goes Omar, and he's going to take another strike to level the game. Oh, and it's hit the post. Stuttgart really giving it a good go here. Nothing to fight for but pride, and my goodness me, they're giving it a very good effort. But there goes the full-time whistle. VfB Stuttgart taste defeat once again. The Foles managed to ride that storm in the second half that VfB Stuttgart showed, and they come out of the Mercedes-Benz Arena with 3 crucial points, which means we cut the gap once again to Red Bull Leipzig to 5 points. We're still in the hunt. And the Foles have now got 4 straight victories, their best run of form in the Bundesliga this season. The full-time score at the Mercedes-Benz Arena, it's VfB Stuttgart 1, Borussia Mönchengladbach 2. And the full-time scores around the grounds, Borussia Dortmund did win against Hertha Berlin by 1-0. Bayer Leverkusen lost 2-0 to Bayern Munich, which means that Bayern Munich are the champions. And speaking of Bayern Munich, we will be visiting Bayern Munich at their Allianz Arena stadium, or it's not the actual Allianz Arena, but you know what I mean. So the Foles have a humongous task as the fans of Bayern Munich welcome the new record champions of Germany. For Borussia Mönchengladbach, they must win to keep their hopes of getting into the top 4 alive and keep Red Bull Leipzig on their toes and looking over their shoulder. But for Bayern Munich, the last time actually we faced Bayern Munich was the only game that Bayern Munich have lost all season so far in the German Bundesliga. The Foles, Borussia Mönchengladbach, beat Bayern Munich 1-0 at Borussia Park thanks to a second half goal by Thorgan Hazard. And the Foles are in the Foles are not in cruise control, but are certainly on a fantastic run of form. They have won 4 straight games. That's their best run of form this season, destroying Bayer Leverkusen, winning away at Werder Bremen, and close victories against Hannover 96 and bottom club, of course, VfB Stuttgart. But if we could beat Bayern Munich at home, then I'm pretty sure that the Foles can beat them on their turf. And in real life, just a year or 2 ago, the Foles destroyed Bayern Munich here 4-0. And as you can see, there is the lineup for Bayern Munich. Familiar players, Tolisso, Davis in there as well. You've got Lewandowski, of course, up front, who is on fire. He's scored, 6 goals in 6 games, so he's certainly a man to watch. And in the same lineup as the Foles, and as you can see, speaking of the Foles, there is their lineup. The first team is called into Bundesliga action for the first time in 2 games. The reserve team have done very well to pick up maximum points against Hannover 96 and bottom club VfB Stuttgart. So let's go into the first half highlights. The 7th minute, and the Foles have made an encouraging start. They have resisted Bayern Munich's pressure. Here's Thorgan Hazard. Here's Andre Silva, and that's a great pass to find a Sané play. He's got Bayern Munich players all around him. He takes a strike. He scores. A Sané play gives the Foles the lead at the Allianz Arena. And the new German champions, Bayern Munich, have had a shocking start here. They're 1-0 down inside the first 10 minutes on their own patch. And the Foles away fans celebrate. None of the three Bayern Munich players that were all around a Sané play could keep up with his pace. And a Sané play with a great strike on his left foot. And Manuel Neuer couldn't get the ball in time. As the ball sails into the back of the net, there's me celebrating there. And that is a massive goal in the race for the Champions League. A Sané play has got his 11th goal in the Bundesliga. And past 11 minutes? It is Bayern Munich 0, Borussia Mönchengladbach 1, a surprise lead. On to the 90th minute. And Thuram has got a throw-in for Mönchengladbach. Passes to Bisbiani. Back to Thuram. He finds Kramer. Andre Silva is in the box. Cuts back. And Kramer's in the box. He scored. It's 2-0 to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Bayern Munich are having a horrible first half here. And Mönchengladbach, they could become the first team this season to do the double over Bayern Munich. And I think their first home defeat of the entire season. Christoph Kramer with a thunderbolt. But it was Bayern Munich's... Well, they were not marking Christoph Kramer there. And Kramer with a great brilliant strike on his right foot. Sails past Manuel Neuer. And the Foles are heading for possibly their 5th straight victory. Every time they go on the attack, it's like their claim to get into the top 4 gets stronger and stronger. Their pursuit is getting stronger. And it's 2-0 to the Foles. 33rd minute, Bayern Munich are all over the show. Look at him, here's Andre Silva. And Marcus Thuram's on his own here. And he's onside. It's 3-0. Bayern Munich are getting destroyed in the first half. 3 goals in the first 35 minutes. And the boos ring around the Allianz Arena from the home supporters. What a disastrous homecoming here for the new record champions, Bayern Munich. They are all over the place. They're too busy focused on one player, not the other players of Mönchengladbach that go on the attack. And that is another terrific strike. Really good chances, really good strikes at goal from the Mönchengladbach players. And Marcus Thuram's got his name on the score sheet. His 7th goal of the Bundesliga. And Bayern Munich are getting trounced here. They've got to try and stop this scoreline becoming an embarrassment. It's Bayern Munich 0, Borussia Mönchengladbach 3. 39th minute. And Silva has wrestled the ball off, I think it was Goretzka. And he's taking another strike. And he's put it into the net. It's 2 for a Sané play. It's 4 for Borussia Mönchengladbach in the first half. Totally unexpected, but joy for the Foles. And they are heading surely for their 5th straight victory in the Bundesliga. The Bayern Munich players dawdling with the ball and a Sané play with his far superior strength and pace. I think it was Benjamin Pavard actually who got the ball off, and that's not a good day. Well, it's not been a good day at the office for Bayern Munich, period. They have been by far the second best here on the pitch in the first half. Sané plays now got 12 goals in the Bundesliga. It could be like a cricket score at this rate. But now 41 minutes, it's 4-0 to the Foles. And there goes the first half whistle. What a first half and what a different contrast of fortunes. Bayern Munich, the new champions on their home turf, have had a disastrous first half here, conceding 4 goals to Borussia Mönchengladbach, who is the form team. 2 goals from a Sané play and crackers from Marcus Thuram and Christoph Kramer means that Champions League chasing Borussia Mönchengladbach lead 4-0 at the Allianz Arena. On to the second half highlights just starting, and the Foles are on the front foot once again. And that's Thuram in the box. Yes, it is. He's got another one. It's 5-0. Mönchengladbach are ripping Bayern Munich to shreds. They may be the new champions, but this is not the performance of champions from Bayern Munich. It's more like that Mönchengladbach are putting on a performance of champions here. It's another nicely passed ball there from Andre Silva. Lays it to Marcus Thuram. And with Marcus Thuram with another great strike, this time on his right foot. And that is certainly game wrapped up. And the points as well for Mönchengladbach as Bayern Munich is heading for one of their heaviest ever defeats. Marcus Thuram's got 8 goals now, and at the start of the second half, you won't believe this, it's Bayern Munich 0, Borussia Mönchengladbach 5. And there goes the full-time whistle. Second half, Bayern Munich did manage to get a lid on the on the Mönchengladbach floodgates, but a massive victory for Mönchengladbach. 5 straight wins on the trot, with a 5-0 thrashing of the new champions Bayern Munich, who were nowhere near. They weren't at the races today, that's for sure. 2 goals from Basade play, Marcus Thuram, 1 from Christoph Kramer, plus a couple of lovely assists from Andre Silva means it's a famous victory at the Allianz Arena. Full time, it's Bayern Munich 0, Borussia Mönchengladbach 5. Unbelievable. And let's take a look at the table then. Bayern Munich are the champions. They are going to be at the top for the rest of the career mode. They sit first with 81 points, 26 wins, 3 draws, 2 defeats, both by Mönchengladbach. 78 goals scored, but 17 goals conceded now. Bayer Leverkusen is second with 73 points, 23 wins, 4 draws, 4 defeats, 62 goals scored, 25 conceded. Borussia Dortmund are third with 70 points, 22 wins, 4 draws, 5 defeats, 64 goals scored, and 21 goals conceded. They have the second best defence in the league and equaling the second best attack in the league. Red Bull Leipzig are still fourth with 67 points, 21 wins, 4 draws, 6 defeats, 59 goals scored, 28 conceded. Borussia Mönchengladbach is fifth with 62 points, still 5 points behind Leipzig. They have 19 wins, 5 draws, 7 defeats, but have the second best attacking squad in the league, scoring 64 goals, but have conceded 27, 1 less than Red Bull Leipzig, which means we have a better goal difference. That could be very important. VfL Wolfsburg sit in 6th place with 55 points, 17 wins, 4 draws, 10 defeats, 57 goals scored, 28 conceded. TSG Hoffenheim are 7th with 53 points, just a point separating a Europa League spot there. They have 16 wins, 5 draws, 10 defeats, 45 goals scored, 33 conceded. Hertha Berlin is 8th with 49 points, 15 wins, 4 draws, 12 defeats, 51 goals scored, and 43 conceded. Looks like they are still in the hunt, but only just mathematically. But Hertha Berlin looks like they are not going to get European football for next season. So let's take a look then at the bottom half of the table. And as you can see, in 9th place, we have Werder Bremen with 46 points. Eintracht Frankfurt is 10th with 43 points. FC Augsburg is 11th with 39 points. FC Köln is 12th with 35 points. Looks like they're going to be safe for next season. Fortuna Düsseldorf is 13th with 31 points. FSV Mainz is 14th with 25 points, conceding 50 goals in the process. FC Nuremberg are still holding on to survival just about. They're 15th with 22 points, 6 wins, 4 draws, 21 defeats, 25 goals scored, 66 conceded. Hannover 96 still hold on to that crucial relegation playoff spot. They have 17 points, 4 wins, 5 draws, 22 defeats, 26 goals scored, 63 conceded. Schalke are now just a point behind that relegation playoff place. They have 3 wins, 7 draws, 21 defeats, 25 goals scored, 70 conceded. They have 16 points. VfB Stuttgart, they're already relegated. They are still bottom with 10 points, 2 wins, 4 draws, 25 defeats, 19 goals scored and 78 conceded. The worst attack and defence of the Bundesliga. And we also had the results come in of the semi-finals of the DFB Pokal. VfL Wolfsburg sadly lost at home 1-0 to Red Bull Leipzig. Werder Bremen put up a good fight, but lost 2-1 to Bayern Munich. And the final in Berlin is Bayern Munich against Red Bull Leipzig. And let's go on to the Champions League results. And Atletico Madrid beat French side Olympique Lyonnais 4-1 on aggregate. Valencia were crushed 5-0 by the Holers Liverpool. Barcelona beat Tottenham Hotspur on the away goal rule, so Spurs are out. Inter Milan, they had a fantastic game against Real Madrid, but lost a very close 4-3 on aggregate. And of course, let's take a look at the semi-final fixtures, and we have a brilliant tie here. Real Madrid versus Liverpool and Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid. As you can see, Liverpool and Atletico Madrid have the advantage into the second leg. Let's take a look at the quarter-final results in the UEFA Europa League. Lazio ended RC Strasbourg's dream run, thumping them 6-0 on aggregate. Sevilla are out of the Europa League after losing 4-2 on aggregate to Borussia Dortmund and a hammering 3-0 defeat at home. Bayer Leverkusen are out of the UEFA Europa League as Manchester United won on the away goal rule. So very unlucky there for Bayern Leverkusen and Sevilla. But let's take a look then, excuse me, at the semi-final fixtures for the UEFA Europa League. And as you can see, in a minute, there we go. Lazio will play Manchester United, and it will be another all-German clash as Borussia Mönchengladbach will host the other Borussia side, Borussia Dortmund. So then let's take a look then at the preview of the next episode then. We begin with an almighty clash. We will be hosting Borussia Dortmund in the first leg of the UEFA Europa League semi-final at Borussia Park. So hopefully we can win that and get some revenge over Borussia Dortmund. And then after that, we will have Bundesliga action with one of the most important home games of the season. We will be hosting VfL Wolfsburg. We must win. We just have to keep winning and hopefully Red Bull Leipzig will slip up. And then to conclude the episode, we'll have the second leg of the UEFA Europa League semi-final at the Signal Iduna Park, once again against Borussia Dortmund. So yeah, very important episode coming up for the Europa League and Champions League aspirations. So make sure you join me then. And hopefully we will do it. Hopefully. So yeah, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe for this series if you've enjoyed it. Make sure to spread the word. Tell your friends that it's going to be a close run to the finish line. So yeah, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. We will see you next time. Thank you.